Good morning. It's Sabrina. Welcome to the journey. Yeah, don't laugh. It's one of those days, but guess what? I am not going to be stopped from blogging and sharing. So, yep, just go ahead and laugh at me if you want to. Like I said, it's one of those days. Cold outside. Be glad when the weather breaks because it's time for it to be warm. It's supposed to be spring. But anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about stress. I know that everybody probably knows that stress is real. Obviously, we all have different levels of stress. We all can handle different levels of stress. Sometimes we think that we can handle more than what we can really handle. And I think that I have realized that I'm one of those people. I think that I can handle a lot more than what I really can handle. I have a heart to take on not only my own stresses, but the stresses of others. And it's out of love. But sometimes we can't always do that. We have to let people handle things for themselves. But it's just my nature to try to take on everything. And sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it, but I do it a lot. And I try to take on everything, and then I found myself getting upset or getting angry if somebody didn't help me with something. But it was like, okay, you try to take it on, you act like you can do everything, so why am I even going to try to help or whatever? So I'm learning. I'm not there. I'm not perfect. Trust and believe. I need for everybody to know that I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I'm learning to not take on the stresses of everybody around me. It's hard because I do want to help. I do love. But I have been able to give up some things. Sometimes giving up some things that are stressing you, it hurts other people. You don't intentionally mean to hurt other people, but sometimes it does hurt other people because they don't really understand your levels of stress that you're going through. Let me just give you an example of something that I've gone through this past year. Excuse me, that really even surprised me. I got to a point where okay, so I don't know, thinking about financial issues with my home, financial issues with church, taking on custody of my goddaughter, issues with my oldest son, really, really, really working hard to trying to find a job, and it's been hard for him. And then the issues with my youngest son, all of that combined together, plus some other stuff or whatever, we'll talk about that later. It can really, put a burden on you. And I, kind of consumed all of that. And it got to a level where I was sitting here. I work from home. And so I was sitting here and I found myself like crying every day. And so I went to a doctor. I did. I went to a psychologist and talked to the doctor. And I felt really crazy because like I was really scared, like shaking inside because I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to talk to somebody that I don't even know. That's a very intimidating feeling. And so talking to this man, and of course he's asking you all the hard questions and the questions that you don't want to answer. Some stuff I didn't even tell him the truth about. I'll tell you that. I didn't even tell him the truth about. And so, you sit there and you talk to him or whatever. It did feel like it helped a little bit, but, in the end, my vein side said, okay, this deductible costs too much. I'm not going to be able to do this because after I had to pay them a couple of times, that deductible, I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. So I was like, me and God going to have to work this out, which he already said he could work it out anyway. But in the interim, honestly, I went to the doctor, talked to the doctor, saw the psychologist also, got meds, guys. I got meds, yes. And When I tell you that they made me feel like zoned out, like you could have came up to me and slapped me in my face and I would have been like, okay. That's how it made me feel. So I was like, no, this is not going to be a good idea because seriously, you don't need anything else weighing on you when you got all these stresses weighing on you. So, I finally said to myself, I put the meds up. I was like, I'm not even going to take this anymore. I didn't like the way it made me feel. But sometimes, I say all this to say that sometimes we get to those levels where we're at a breaking point, and I really was at a breaking point, and I felt like I didn't know where else to go or who else to talk to. I can say that it helped because it was a neutral person. It was a person that doesn't know anything about you or your life, and you were just able to talk. You were able to talk freely and not be judged. But guess what? I'm at a point now in my life where I don't care if you judge me. I don't care what you say. This is the journey. This is part of what I have been going through and what I am going through. And this is Sabrina. This is Sabrina. This is Sabrina Thompson. And this is the journey. And I love you. And I'm only sharing because I want you to know that if you're going through something similar or you've had the same thoughts, guess what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to talk to you about some other things. This is not it. I've had suicidal thoughts. Yes. So, we'll talk about that later. But just because somebody walks around and seems like they have it all together, it doesn't mean that they have it all together. It's okay to go ahead and give them a hug, love on them, care for them, and, try to lift them up because they might be going through something too. This is getting a little bit too long today. I'm sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye.